Alright guys, I'm going to talk about the DeWalt tape measure for a second here. Now, this is specific to this model tape measure. Now, if you've been watching me for the past couple of years, you know I've just been yearning to do a video, a face-off video of more, not a face-off, but some of the best, some of the worst tape measures, some of the best valued tape measures. Just do a video on tape measures. You know, but you've obviously, and I did a video on this probably a year ago, if you guys remember, and it's gotten really bad now, but it's basically about this DeWalt 25 foot, we're going to call it the mid-grade, right? Only reason because this isn't their lowest model or their lowest priced model, cheapest, and that's the issue I kind of have with it. Now, I got this with a DeWalt knife. I want to say 100%. It definitely came with something, you know, I think they kind of switched from the knife to the utility knife. What I'm talking about is around Christmas time, you know, they put a couple packages together. With this one and that lower model, that lower priced model, you know, with the lower priced model, they'll do like two 25-foot tape measures for $14.99. And I like that tape measure better than this one. And this one, I think they do like a 25 and a 16 for like, I don't know if it's $24.99. And then obviously it drops down to like $19.99. But, you know, the issue with this tape measure is it's not a cheap tape measure. I was just there at Home Depot a couple days ago. And that's kind of, I'm like, I got to finally do this video. And I want to get you guys' opinion if you have this tape measure. It's a pretty popular, now I don't want to say popular, but I know a lot of other people have had issues with it. But it's not a cheap tape measure. All right, this was $22.99 at Home Depot. All right, for the 25 footer. All right. Obviously, if you get it at Christmas, you know you pretty much get a free 16 footer. But you know, normal everyday Home Depot price. I think it was either $21.99, $22.99, something like that. You know, my only issue with it, well, there's a couple issues that I don't like about it. Now, like is not a big deal because before you buy it, you should know this is a very heavy tape measure, very heavy. Now, if you want to have the standout that some of these tape measurers claim to have, you know, the blade's going to be a little bit heavier inside. It's going to be a better, thicker, you know, blade inside. So you know, not really a big deal. You got this little hole here for a lanyard, like a lot of tape measures now. Little lanyard action. You know, did a good job, kind of protecting it. Like they don't advertise that this can get, you know, 50-foot drop it can withstand. They don't really advertise that on there. Now I believe this gets has an 11-foot standout. Now I wouldn't know that because I only get around 4 feet with this. But you know, besides that, you know, it's the only reason I'm bringing up the drop, but is because it, you know, it's a pretty well made. Now I don't want to say well made. You know, it has this nice rubber overmold, pretty much over the entire top. The actual lock is also rubber. You got this rubber overmold all the way to the bottom, underneath, the back, the side. You got, you know, the rubber kind of comes out to kind of protect it a little bit. You know, just a real nice design here for, you know, if you're going to drop it, you know, protection. But my issue with it has been what, you know, I kind of did in the video last year was the blade is just, it's bad. All right. Now, I don't know if they've kind of changed this model a little bit, if they've kind of improved it. I don't know. This is, like I said, probably a 2015, 2016 tape measure. I want to say Christmas 2015. And I don't think it's exactly like this now, but I'm not 100% sure, to be honest with you. But, oh, look at the kitty over here. But I'm going to show you the standout in a second. But here, is another 25. Now this is a $5 tape measure. All right, 2 for $9.99, and actually they had 2 for $7.99 at one point. But we'll say it's a $5 tape measure. All right. Now you notice the size difference. All right. Not a big deal, but if you remember, guys, the reason why I didn't like the stud. Now I don't want to say I didn't like it. The reason why me personally, I wouldn't use it is just that it's too darn big. It's a big bulging tape measure. Now, this thing, I ran over it with my truck 2 or 3 times. I ran over the blade. It can take a beating, no doubt. But thankfully, Milwaukee is redesigning that stud, making it a little bit more compact, and they're also obviously making the Standout, I mean, significantly. I think it's going to a 15-foot Standout. I have a video on it at the NPS 19, but I believe the stud Standout is 11 feet, and I think it's going up to 15 feet, but not important. But, you know, obviously this $5 tape measure, you know, it's a 25-footer. If you like a small tape measure, obviously, I'm just showing you the size difference. They kind of have their max. Now this is another one. This is probably one of my favorite 16-foot tape measures. The Milwaukee, again, I think they're coming out with a new magnetic series also. The big thing with that is the hook at the end. But we'll talk more about that when it comes out. And these new tape measures should be coming out shortly, the new stud. You know, I didn't see the auto lock at NPS at all. So I really like that tape measure too, to be honest with you. But I hope they don't get rid of it. But I want to talk about the Milwaukee real quick. All right, so this is a 16-footer. All right, and it's got a 9-foot Standout. Okay, but this is a very sturdy Standout. All right, I can move this, and you don't have to worry about this snapping on you at all. All right. Now the thing with the Milwaukee, you go a little bit over 9 feet, it's gonna snap on you. All right, but within that 9 foot, I mean, there's not a more sturdy. Well, there might be, I don't know, but this is a very sturdy Standout. Okay, I can do whatever I kind of want with this. I can reach up high. You know, I have it sitting here with the breeze and everything. So, you know, very sturdy Standout. Now, with the Ryobi here, this is a 25-foot, $5 Ryobi. All right, now it's got a 6-foot Standout. You know, that's what you're going to get for $5. All right, but it does not have a very sturdy Standout. All right, if I start moving it, it's starting to shake a little bit. It actually snapped on me. Well, you know, right now it's doing much better. Yeah, so actually not bad. The reason why I'm bringing this up is because I kind of just did this, but I had a phone call come in and it kind of messed up my video, so I'm like, ah. But yeah, so this is actually doing much better. But yeah, and obviously if you go down to like 5 feet with this, you'll be in better shape. I kind of just snapped there. So, you know, but the Standout is definitely not as sturdy as the Milwaukee. Now, obviously, if I bring the Milwaukee down to 6 feet, I mean, forget it. I could probably hit someone over the head with this Standout. Issue with the DeWalt, I'm going to have to get my little tripod here. And I don't even know how this got as bad as it did, to be honest with you. I have no idea. Because, again, saw my video last year. I mean, I made a workbench with this, and I got halfway through this before I said that's it. And I'm using it now, and I'm like, what the hell am I doing? Why am I still using this DeWalt? So, but as you can see, as soon as I start, it's starting to twist. See? And this is about it. I'm at 4.5 feet. If I go anything around 5, I'm not at 5 yet. Now I'm at 5. All right. Now, obviously, this is going to make it snap. Yep. So it's really the blade. Now, I wish I could tell you that I beat the hell out of this thing, but guys, you know, this isn't on a construction site here. I was doing pretty light work with it. You know, maybe somebody stepped on it, but to have this much damage to the blade, you know, it's a very sharp blade on here. Like it's just not a, you know, the big difference between this and their lower model, okay, is obviously, because I think that has a 10-foot standout. The standout might be the same, but the blade is significantly different compared to this one. Again, this is like their mid-grade tape measure here, and I hope you can see this here. But it's, you know, if you look at the Milwaukee, or if you have this, see, look at it. That's just at 2 feet. All right. Now, I'm not saying that this couldn't happen, because, you know, this couldn't happen to any tape measure. My issue with it is, like I said, I know I didn't do anything for this, anything over absorbent, over, you know, anything, you know, I always can't think of the freaking words when I'm doing these videos, but there's nothing I could have done that extreme to make this pretty much, to building a workbench, you know, to just crinkle like this. And it's just a very bad blade, okay? You know, it's very metal. It's very sharp. It has kinks and breaks all over this tape measure here. And again, I like using 16-foot tape measures. You guys know that. You know, they're smaller, they're more compact, and I'm usually under 16 feet. If I got to go over 16 feet, then I got a 25 I grab. But the blade is the issue. If you look at the Milwaukee, it's made out of a much different material. Now, this really is a curved, you see that? That's how you get that standout, right? Now, we know DeWalt has one of the longest, they actually have a patent. That's why Milwaukee has been so far behind. If you've noticed, you know, the Fat Maxes and the DeWalt tape measures usually, you know, 13, 14 feet. Even their lower models have, you know, this is only 9 feet. You can get a DeWalt's lowest model and it has more than, you know, Milwaukee's highest model. All right, obviously at MPS 19, now they must have came up with some kind of concoction to compete with DeWalt better on the standout part of it. But you know, the blade is the issue with it. It's just the material that it's made out of makes it very easily to have this happen, to curl, to kink, to bend. And you know, that's the issue. It's a lot harder with some of these different, you know, materials that they're made out of now. And obviously you're gonna, you know, like I said, if this was a $10 tape measure, you know, not a big deal, you know, but it's a kind of an expensive tape measure. You know, that's my only issue with it. You know, and there's a couple other things I don't like about it that I mentioned. Obviously, the weight and such. But yeah, just, you know, I would kind of stay away from this tape measure. I know I got a lot of comments on people who have this and they didn't like it either. Somebody told me they threw theirs in a lake. You know, obviously before you buy this, you pick it up and you'll notice how kind of heavy it is. And obviously you can look at the blade before you buy it. Actually, I like DeWalt's hooks, but I really like the new Milwaukee ones. Now this is the older one here. I'll show you real quick. See, I like that style. Now the new ones are a little bit different, and this is magnetic too. You got to remember that. All right. Hopefully you can see that. So, you know, this was $16.97, and I'm gonna do a video. Actually, I just got this like a week ago because I got to do a video comparison between this and another one. But this was $16.97. You know, I posted a picture yesterday or a couple days ago on the new Lufkin Strike Force. It cost me $35 after tax. All right, so you can say this is what, $18. Let's just use the rest. So it was $33.28 for the Lufkin. Okay, 20, and that was a 16 footer. We're talking 16 Amigo. Now, you could probably get them cheaper. I just went on Amazon, and I went straight from Amazon. No third-party sellers. But Lowe's might have it cheaper, and I think Lowe's sells the Lufkin Strike Force also. But that is double the price of this Milwaukee here. And you know, they claim a lot of stuff, and we're going to test it out, but let me tell you guys, this tape measure here, now obviously there's new ones coming out, right? The new magnetic, there's the new redesigned Milwaukee stud. But if you're looking for a solid 16 footer, you know, it has the stop on it. I don't know, this is a DeWalt video, and I'm talking about the Milwaukee. But yeah, so I like the hook at the end, and it's magnetic too. But this, and I want to say the 25 foot is the same price as this. That's what my point is. To make a long story short, which is hard to do here on the Tool Boss channel. But yeah, the 25, this was $16.97, and I want to say the 25 footer. Now, I don't know if that's always the price. This wasn't a sale either. This was the regular price, but that doesn't mean that they, you know, maybe didn't take money off of it, because obviously we know there's some new Milwaukee tapes coming out and they haven't hit the market yet. They might be trying to get rid of these, but take that equation out of it. Even if the magnetic Milwaukee, which is cheaper right now at Home Depot, say it's a $2 or $3 more, you know, you just get, it's smaller. You got the magnetic feature, you got the double-sided you know, measurements, markings on both sides. You got the magnetic feature. It's a nice compact size. I just don't, you know, and if you have this and the blade, you haven't had any issues with the blade, that's awesome. But I just don't think there's a lot of value with this tape measurer, to make a long story short. Now, if you can get it, you know, a 25 footer and a 16 footer for 20 bucks, you know, then go nuts. I mean, that's kind of what I did. I never would have spent, you know, as soon as I picked this thing up and kind of looked at the blade, especially the materials the blade's made out of. I don't like these real aluminum metal type, you know, blades. But, you know, if you can get a deal on it, is what I'm trying to say. It might be an option for you. But I would definitely not spend your normal MSRP on it. You know, the belt clip is also like just really cheap. I hate to say it. I mean, I don't know. But just my opinion on this DeWalt, we'll call it that's actually the DWHT 33975. All right. Again, they're mid-grade. They make one that's cheaper, which I like better, only because I like the blade material better. But, and it's much lighter. This is a pretty heavy tape. But yeah, tell me what your feeling is if you have the DWHT 33975. And we're going to have a video, hopefully by the end of the summer, on all these different tapes. You know, we'll check Standout, we'll drop them. We'll drop them from what they say on the manufacturer's, you know, label on the packaging. Like the Lufkin Strike Force says 100 foot. We're going to see if it could do 100 feet drop Lufkin. But let me know what you think about the DeWalt DWHT 33975.